brief information from my end. Actually, Dr. Malkhede is currently as an advisor AICT New Delhi, and he is handling all schemes, AICT schemes, where we are getting a funding, and that is what we or as an entire institute is getting an appropriate research platform, and also he has given a very nice initiative of NDF, National Doctoral Fellowship, as well as he created few more schemes. He may highlight during his entire session about this also, and also he is going to talk on what is the main issue of the accreditation with reference to Indian institutes, and how this accreditation will help others. This accreditation will help in international platform. Now I request Dr. Dileep Malkhede sir to start this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Suhas Deshmukh, for a wonderful introduction. And before I start, I would like to congratulate your institute and you in personal, who has taken so much of efforts in organizing one program after the other, and this particular program has a huge number of participants. I'm very, very impressed, and I'm very curious to know how do you do it. So I have a lot of things to learn from you, although you mentioned that you learned from me, but you have a lot of potential. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I will be speaking for about 1.5 hours, and we'll try to give you some inputs on what is accreditation, why do we need accreditation, and of course I will not talk on how do we get the accreditation, because there are so many experts, there are so many formulas that will make the presentation little complex, because we will be going into a narrower parameters. But broadly, it will be really, really very interesting session, informative session, particularly for those who are about 10 to 15 years of, senior in the education system. To give you a little more background about me, I have also served in various institutions, academic institutions for last 30 years, but since the inception of NBA that took place in 1994, I am associated with accreditation also, directly, indirectly, and therefore I have seen this system evolving from the basic accreditation system, then the parameters got improved, and now currently we are signatories of the Washington Accord, and therefore I will touch on some aspects of why do we need Washington Accord. The focus will also be on the international aspects of accreditation. Okay. Now, I would like to know from Dr. Suhas if this is all audible and visible. So I would like to know just quickly as to whether my screen picture is on the screens or my slide is on the screen. Anyone from the panelists also can also?
Yes, sir. It's audible, sir.
Audible, and what is there on the screen?
There is a PPT PowerPoint, some issues on accreditation.
Okay, very, very nice. Okay, very nice. Okay. Okay. So my presentation, as I told you, will have broadly this flow. I will begin with the education system in India, particularly focus will be on higher education system, and how did we grow in terms of higher education and university number general, but growth of technical education in particular. Then I will switch over to the accreditation and its details, advantages, and why do we need Washington Accord? Why do we need international standards also for our accreditation process? What is then Indian process now with Washington Accord signed? What is the current process of NBA? And then there are some international accreditations also happening. What is that? And why do we need, and how it is going to benefit us? That's what I will also talk about. Lastly, I will also focus on what we are doing as the AICT to improve the quality and facilitate NBA in improving the accreditation number, but also facilitating institutions in helping them going through the process of accreditation. And after 1.5 hours, if the time permits, I will be very happy to take some questions from selected audience. Okay. So as you all know, we have necessary to look at why we and where we are in terms of the education system that we have vis-a-vis in the education system other countries have. So we all learn from each other, and therefore we first look at what we have. We have a primary system, then this elementary, then we go to secondary education, 9th to 10th standard, and then 11th to 12th we call it as senior secondary or higher secondary. Then we have university system, which is higher education system, and under higher education students go to the college or the university, and colleges are affiliated to the university, and the entry for this college is generally 12th standard. Then some of them go to postgraduate, some do also doctorate, and very few of them also do postdoctorate. So that's the general system. Now, if we compare this system of India with the world, you will find broadly the same system, but in some cases it is 1 to 3 or 1 first grade to 4th grade, and in fact we also in some places we call as grade 1 to 4th as primary, but there are some variations even in India. Now, we also look at and compare what others are doing. We have diploma, undergraduate, postgraduate, doctorate. Diploma was missing in that in the previous slide. But we have in technical education the diploma also, for which the entry is either 10th or 12th. For pharmacy it is 12th, for others it is 10th. And undergraduate we have 12, postgraduate we have a graduate degree requirement, and for postdoctoral, in general, the postgraduates are admitted. And in some universities, some selected cases, even a BTech can directly go for PhD. So this is, even in India, there is some variation. If we look at the education system that we have, this slide gives a broader picture of education system. And the reason why I am covering this is to indicate that how complex is the education system in India, and therefore we need little time to understand education system. And when we come across the delegations from foreign universities, we need to explain to them what is our system, and therefore this slide. So I would like to just tell you that this is a higher education system where we have general education, which is governed by a separate body, which is UGC. We have BA, BCom, BSc degrees offered, MA, MSc, MCom. Then we have technical education system now governed by AICTE. Medical education, Medical Council of India governs it. Agriculture education, we have a separate regulatory body for this. Vocational education, then law education are some of the domains, because it has various bodies which looks into education. Now, if you start with this serial number 5, you have UGC regulating the general education and universities, and colleges which not only regulates but also funds. AICT for technical education. Our Council of Architecture for architecture was also governed by AICT. Now, Pharmacy Council, this National Council for Teacher Education, Bar Council for Law Education, Distance Education Council for Distance Education, Agriculture Education is governed separately, and vocational Hotel Management Council, Medical Council, Dental Council, Nursing Council, Veterinary Council, large number of councils. And naturally, when the councils are different, their bodies are different, their thinking is different, and therefore different norms, different pay, different standards are likely to come. And therefore, we may have these colleges, veterinary college, very different than the other colleges. Quick glance at the growth of engineering education. This is with focus on technical education in general, not only engineering. Technical includes engineering, pharmacy, architecture, education also. You will be surprised that this number of institutions grew very, very rapidly, particularly since 1990, 1983 in particular, when the privatization happened, private players came in, and large number of degree colleges, diploma colleges opened, and large number of enrollment also took place in degree and diploma. And if we look at some problems of India, our problems are not prediction of the temperature in IC engine at every millisecond. We have basic problems. We have basic problem of healthcare, sanitization, our drainage system is not proper, people do not have toilets, we don't have education to almost 40% of the country, we don't have good water for drinking. These are our primary problems. Healthcare, sanitation is our problem. And we are hardly putting in efforts on this. Also, our problems are, some of the problems are also safety and women's safety in particular. Pollution is our problem. Electricity, basic need, electricity and the transportation required, these are our problems. Now, who will help us in solving this problem is the question that keep coming to my mind. Very, very often I think about it. We are a unique country, we are a big country, we are a populated country, we are a very rich country, we are the country of poor. Extreme richness is seen in India, extreme poverty is also seen in India, and we are probably the unique country where we have so much of extremities and so much of diversity, we call it as. So, unique are the problems of the country. Who is going to solve? My question to you is, and you can send answers on this next. Is Spain going to help us in solving these problems? Or is Finland is going to help us, or Australia or America is going to solve this problem? Who is going to solve? Is there any country having this situation and having the knowledge of the problems that we are facing? I think we are a unique country and we know the problem, we are living with it, and we have possibility of solving the potential of solving the problems of our country by ourselves. And our students can solve it, and we have proven. I am going to tell you in a short while from now as to how successfully we did it and how can we expand it. And therefore, we are a country with unique problems. We are a country with unique population and unique talent and unique infrastructure, unique education system, the largest one that we have, and we can solve these problems and ourselves. And no one can come and help us. Okay? And therefore, from my point of view, although we are talking of accreditation and education and technical education and its quality, this slide, although it's not related to education, but I think this should be the center of our thinking, and then we should start learning. It was later, in 2010, made the independent autonomous body. So 2010, they became autonomous, and became completely independent of AICTE in 2013. Maybe between 2010 to 13 they were sitting in AICTE office, but now became independent and completely independent and started accreditation based on outcome in 2013. And later, within a year, we signed Washington Accord. Okay, now Washington Accord is something very, very important. Washington Accord is the accord that was signed, understand, to have the uniformity at the world level. And then accord little later. Current status, we have 3,500 diploma colleges, 6,500 degree colleges, 7,000 institutions offering technical education, engineering education alone, plus medical, plus MBA, plus architecture, plus pharmacy. How many of them are accredited? Accreditation by NBA is done by only 16% of the institutions. It means 84%, which is a very large chunk of institutions are not accredited, and this is an alarming situation, and therefore we may be offering a quality education, but we don't have the stamp. It's very important. And when we don't have the stamp, nobody recognizes, even if you are offering the quality. And I'm sure those who are offering quality, they will not hesitate in going through the accreditation process. So there is little doubt in your mind and everybody's mind, particularly when you don't have the accreditation not done for your institute. And therefore, we need to focus on it. NBA is a quality mark. There is an international recognition. Of course, nationally it is recognized. Parents know it. Placement agencies, the employers will come to you for placement if you are accredited institution. And student mobility from one institute to the other institute, from one university to the other university, or from undergraduate, after passing undergraduate program for going to the PG or PhD, student get advantage of the background of the institution, the reputation of the institution they did their graduation from, and therefore they feel pride when they go to the other places, either for their placement or for the higher education, and therefore it is very necessary. Also, NBA is useful for funding, getting funding from the government and other agencies. And when we fund, which I have been doing in AICTE for almost 3.5 years, now I am heading the other bureau, but the funding is for funding NBA is one of the very important criteria. Now, let us look at what are the imperatives of the accreditation. As I told you, funding decisions are primarily dominated by this quality mark. It is like ISI mark, ISI products, non-ISI products, ISI fridge and non-ISI, ISI air conditioner, non-ISI. IS variation is also too high. The ISI mark can be sold at a high cost. Non-ISI has to be less than 50% cost. And that this NBA is like ISI of the product. This is for education. Accountability of the institution, encouragement, improvement initiative. Now you do something, you improve the quality, you get the quality mark. Indirectly, teachers, principals, directors also gets encouraged because it is the success of their efforts. and the institution gets accredited. But in fact, I would say the teachers and students both also get kind of a accreditation, a kind of a quality mark attached to them. Like I will proudly say that I am a student of so and so institution, now the faculty of COEP, faculty working professor of College of Engineering Pune. So kind of a quality mark gets attached to the personality also. So this quality assurance of educational programs is very, very necessary. Now these slides tells you why Washington Accord for India. Is there a need for global standardization? Because now we are a country with huge population and huge technical institutions. We are producing a largest number of engineers. These engineers, when they go abroad, their degrees are looked at, whether the university is approved, where the programs are accredited, where the college is accredited. And therefore, if the college is accredited, next question will come definitely to, what is the process? What is the credibility of the accrediting agency? Now, is this accrediting agency itself recognized by some international body? Question comes. No, that's an obvious question. And therefore, that is India, signed Washington Accord in 2040. And these things are now taken because there is a need for global engineers, not Indian engineers. They have to be called as global engineers. The engineers that you produce, I produce, they should be useful for USA, they should be useful for Australia, they should also be useful for India. So there is a need for global engineers, so there was a consensus required, and that consensus happened in Washington Accord. Accreditation procedure, there has to be a global agreement on what should be the procedure for accreditation, and therefore what procedure that we adopt is all agreed by at international platform. The processes that we have. What are the processes? Learning outcomes and graduate attributes that we have. There is concurrence, convergence amongst all the countries which are the signatories of Washington Accord. And this is the reason that the procedures, the parameters that we look at, they are all agreed by the international bodies. Now, Washington Accord, if we are part of it, who are the other countries who are also signatories of the Washington? Is this screen visible? Suhas, quickly I would like to know, Dr. Suhas.
Yes, okay. It's visible, sir. You are audible and visible. There is no issue from our end.
Because I changed the slide and I did not ask you.
No issues. No issues.
On my slide, I have on left column the member state with the countries that we are the part of the Washington Accord, and on the right there is a year of their signing the Washington Accord. So when Washington Accord first time was signed, these countries came together. Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, United Kingdom, United States, they all came together, they understood, they realized all this. That there is a need for this, there is a need for this, there is a need for standard procedure, and they all had agreed actually in 1989, almost when I was graduated, about 30 years before, 1988 I graduated from Government Engineering College abroad. So in 1988, I passed out, 1989 they agreed almost, okay. Then subsequently some more countries joined. These are Hong Kong, South Africa. They also came in around 1995, 1999. Then everybody felt the need for the global recognition for their education. And many of the other countries started offering the international education, and the need then therefore felt by these countries who offer international education or education for international students, they felt the severe need for joining this Washington Accord, and the countries joined later in the third phase are Japan, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, and Malaysia. And around 2005, 2009, and currently we are now 2020. So about 15 years before they joined. We joined in 2014. Supporting under the way of through couple of schemes designed primarily by our chairman sir and his directions. We have launched two schemes. One is Margadarshan. So basically process of mentoring institutions, and process of mentoring by us, and process of mentoring by our senior academicians. So what we do in Margadarshan, which is initiative of EICT, to improve this number of accreditation institutions across the country, because it is so important. Number one is we made it mandatory, then we started mentoring. So what we did is we found good institutions in the country to help the neighbor, help the junior college, relatively junior college, newer college, by the senior, good, established, accredited college. We also have senior professors, good academicians. They can be very helpful. They must have retired now. We involve them. We involve good institutions, good teachers to help other institutions getting accreditation done. We have about 700 institutions taking mentorship. Question to you is your institutions accredited? If it is not accredited, is it taking mentorship from AICT? If not, please start taking mentorship. You need to become accredited. So you please take the help of AICT. There is maybe information on the website of AICT, or you send mails to us and we will connect you to the right officer. What is this mentorship? Mentorship is this one big institutions in the center will be mentoring, because this has knowledge and information and very senior and established the quality. There can be 10 institutions mentoring by them through a hub and spoke model, and there are many hub and spoke models available happening, guiding institutions all across the country. Question to you is, are you taking mentorship? Are you the part of this process? And if you are not the part of this process, are you going to continue to be running the institutions in this country for too long a time? Therefore, the question you must ask yourself, you must ask your institution, you must ask your colleague, and therefore it needs necessary that you need to go for accreditation of the institution. And then we help them getting MOUs signed between them. Around 450 MOUs were signed about 2 months before. I don't have the exact number now, but proper formal arrangement. This is a formal arrangement of what AICT is doing, and AICT is paying for it. Most importantly, AICT is paying money to the people who are coming to your institution and guiding you. They are traveling at our cost. They are getting honorarium to AICT. You need to only say yes. And let them come in and let them have some basic arrangements, food and local stay. That is what you need to do. Rest is all taken care of. So there is a lot to discuss about it, and this whole process is going to be governed by a mobile app where you will find the mentor institutions and progress. So this is how AICT has become a facilitator from regulator. And I think last 2 minutes now floor. AICT is also working on many other things, like then to facilitate, because you look at what we teach, and universities are not able to change the curriculum for 10 years, 20 years in some cases. We have given a good curriculum, in universities are mandated. Swayam courses, for every course almost there is one equivalent or two equivalent Swayam courses available. And we have now also started making these courses available from translated, at least the subtitles available on those video lectures, on the Swayam and NPTEL lectures, not only in English but also in Hindi and other languages. So 8 languages, this will be available, and thermodynamics lecture will be available in Marathi. Subtitles in Marathi. Student will be able to learn the course better, because mother tongue has a great influence on learning of the. We have given a lot of talks and presentations and trained many people on how to reform the examination process. Okay, it derives the principles of Bloom's taxonomy, and we should not ask question on define this, define that, or explain this, explain that. You ask the question and state the question and use the verb in such a way that the answer is exact and gives actual potential and the skill is tested. Like you ask him to design a gear, okay, not explain the process of designing a gear. Exam pattern. All these things you can learn on your own. But focus has to be on creating. Today we need to be creators rather than understanding. We are somewhere here. Many of us are here. Understanding. Even if we ask you to tell what you thought and what is going to happen after it, you will say that many of you will say. I'm not saying that everybody. Many of us say that they will understand thermodynamics. They will understand this. No, they should apply, they should be able to analyze, evaluate, and they should be able to create, in fact. So creating, may it be a software, may it be a hardware, may it be a product, may it be electronic circuit, may it be a software program. We should be able to create, focus on creating. Creating is something very important. Okay. So I would like to, there are many other schemes which we started actually. This is the list of the schemes that we have, but in nutshell, you need to only go to the AICT website and find out what are the AICT schemes. They are not only for NBA, but they are all helpful for NBA. They are for faculty trainings, research promotion, quality improvement, journal, e-journal access, travel grant for going abroad, schemes for students sending abroad, scholarship scheme, they are all available. Modernization, RPS, ModRops, these are available. You need to, and these are all helpful for getting accredited. AICT, I will talk about it and close. Like I told you, the India has unique, it's a unique country, unique problem. And we have huge potential among students. Smart India Hackathon, which you are all aware of, which is there now, in the AICT for 4 years. 2017 I was part of, 2018 also I was part of. Is the process of connecting students with the problems of the country. And our chairman sir also talked on this many times and many forums, that you at your institution level should connect the students with the local problems of the country, involve the students. Students have immense potential, and even with my experience, I would like to tell you, we have designed a scheme where students are sent abroad for participating in competitions abroad, international competitions. All the teams that we sent abroad are participating and competing with international teams. All the teams won and they stood in top 10. That indicates how potential are the Indian students, and therefore we have to believe in the potential of our students. And if we believe, I think students will definitely take interest in education. They will take interest in the problems of the country. Let us involve them in solving our problems. No other country is going to help us in solving our problems, because no one has the problem and no one understands the problem. Our students are, and our institutions, our teachers are competent of solving the problems. With this, final note, I think I would like to close, and I should close by saying, wishing you good luck. Once again, I would like to tell you that we have immense potential. We have to only believe in our potential, believe in our systems, believe in our students, and motivate students in solving the current problems. I think in all the challenges, like even COVID, we will come out very safely, and someday we will become the world leader. China's intentions are already being doubted. We should all take the advantage of this. With this, I would like to wish you a good luck for your accreditation, and I would like to, at the end, thank the organizer the principal of the institution, Dr. A.T. Pise, coordinator, Dr. Suhas Deshmukh, and his team for giving this me opportunity. And I really, really enjoyed talking. Although I'm not able to see you, but I could very easily connect with you. I would like to thank you for your patient listening. Thanks to all of you once again. Thank you.